Alright, good evening and welcome to the Melbourne ATV net. I've got some audio feedback from somewhere. Not sure where it's coming from. Now I'm really... oh, here we go. Okay, welcome. I'm Neil, VK3BCU, and it's time for the Melbourne ATV net, which is held every Tuesday night at 8 PM. Welcome all. Stations that are checked in on VHF, UHF, Bob VK3BVR, Steve VK3TTF, and Dennis VK3WV. G'day there, Dennis. I don't think you've checked in for a while. First up this evening will be Peter VK3BFG. Peter will be putting it across to Richard VK3VRS, and then Richard across to Clint VK3CSJ and back to me. And Richard's doing the YouTube streaming this evening. So if you're watching on this, we probably don't need to go across to the YouTube feed, but Richard is doing the YouTube feed and the Discord feed, and I don't believe the BATC feed is working today. So there we go. So if you're ready, Peter, I can see your splash screen up already. So if you want to take it away, Peter, if I press maybe that button, please switch across to RTV1 right now.
Well, good evening everyone. I'm Peter, VK3BFG, and Mick just got in at the last minute, which is really good. Anyway, there's a new ATV station popped up this afternoon, which is really great. It's John, VK3JCO, although he was using another call sign that I can't recall. It was one of his other ones, but he's got to use Juliet, Charlie, Oscar, John, and then we'll know it's you. But it was a little bit marginal, but it's sort of antenna was on a temporary pole, I think, and it was very windy, so it was. I think the dish was, or the grid pack rather, was moving around in the wind, and there was a little bit of drop out there. But he was there, so and the picture was good, so. We can only go forward from there, John. So welcome, and it's great to have yet another station that Ian can add to his list. So Ian, call it Juliet, Charlie, Oscar. You've got that one, John. So that's really good. You'll also notice that we've had the bird on occasionally. Sort of slipped in there a bit. That's what we started with, and so yeah, there's a little bit of a montage on the splash screen there, so that's okay. The SRT service was down for a little while, but I note today that it's back up, so Phil is definitely working in the background there, and I'm sure that the BAT service will come back soon. I don't think we've solved the RTV2 sound problem, which is really strange, because the system's the same for both channels, and the audio coming out from the splitters seems to be okay. So yeah, not sure what's happening there, but anyway, it's just one of those things. Well, not having enough handhelds like we've all got, I actually bought another one. But this one's an AM airband transmitter, so it's something that I haven't bothered having, but there's a system called the ATIS, which is basically the weather forecast locally, and winds and temperatures and wind direction and runways to be used, etc., which is emanating from the tower. And I'll be able to just listen to that beforehand, which will save a little bit of time. It was only just a few dollars, so it's crazy stuff. So anyway, down here, since I've got my handhelds out, I thought I'd better charge them, because I've got 1, 2, 3 there, and now that's the 4th one. So yeah, they're so cheap that it's a bit crazy when you think back years ago. you'd probably have one, and maybe that's about all you'd afford because they were many hundreds of dollars. But yeah, just one of the crazy things about the world today. Well, this week I've been just experimenting with my VNAs. I've got a little nano VNA, but I've also got the bigger one, and I thought I'd just show you. Won't be dynamically, but one of the things I was looking at, and I went out into the shed to find a capacitor, and I found this one, and it's pretty interesting. So we'll just focus the shaky cam. Well, it won't be shaky cam. I'll just turn it around so that you can see what we're talking about down here, and we might even get it just a little bit closer. Yeah, that's what I found in the shed, and it's got a very nice planetary drive. See there, the capacitor changes very nicely, and it's even got anti-backlash there. So, anyway, that's just one of the caps. I just wanted to demonstrate what changing capacitance looks like on the VNA. So I've also got an inductor there that one didn't work so well, but never mind. It's a work in progress. And of course, some of us have got these boards which are quite good. Oops, let's get a little bit of focus on that. There's opens and shorts and various loads and series resonance circuit and parallel resonance circuits, and there's a bandpass filter and a low pass filter on it. So that's quite handy for demos as well. So I'm not sure that I'll use that, but the reason that I'm just looking at this is that I offered to give a talk on the Smith chart, would you believe, at the next Eastern Mountain Disease Radio Club meeting. And the Smith chart really is embedded in the nano VNAs and this other VNA which I've got here, which some of you no doubt would have seen. This one's a bit more rugged than the nano, and it's also got a bigger screen on it. Where are we? There we are. See the size of that one, and you can see the Smith chart in the middle. And the Smith chart's a very important part of the VNAs, and you can operate them as a single port or a two port, depending on what you want to measure. So they're quite versatile. So, not sure that I'll include that, but I guess the Smith chart being embedded in the VNA, and that is interesting. But just to think back to where all the mathematics involved in the Smith chart, and a gentleman who developed that, who probably didn't even have a computer. All of the maths would have been done manually, I would think. Anyway, that's what I've been doing just over the last little while. I don't want to really mention it, but the repeater seems to be going pretty well. Other than putting a new splash screen in it, can't say that I've really done too much. Anyway, I'll turn the little AM. Whoops, there we are, transmitter on. And we can probably get up to the counter, which is over here somewhere. Where's my counter? Not there. Let's round here a bit further. There it is there. And hopefully, there we are. I've got 120.9 milli, which is 120.9 is not one you want to transmit on, because that's the ATIS frequency for Moorabbin, but it's showing 128.99.92, so it's not quite on frequency, but near enough. Anyway, that's enough from me. Richard, if you would like to run, you'll be able to take over from me fairly well, because I'm running on S, so the changeover should be pretty good. So that's the little QT, as it's called, or QYT. And it's an AM band, airband transceiver with a magnificent power of 1.5 watts. It's supposed to be 5, but That's all I measured was 1.5, so there it is. Okay, over to you there, Rich. VK3 VRS to take it, and hopefully the changeover will be pretty good. This is VK3.
Well, yep, it caught me by surprise because I thought you were going to your screen, but no, you just flick the power off. So I actually, I've got a two-stage setup where I start transmitting on my computer and then I just have to flick the amp on and bang, I've all of a sudden got power into the repeater. And I was waiting for your splash screen to come up and then I was going to hit that, but you disappeared. Anyway, very good. It's always fascinating to see equipment and whatnot, and yeah, that little radio would be very handy for you, definitely, Peter. I've got a few up there, and one that you can modify to have even SSB on it. Actually, I've got one that has SSB on it too, but sit up there and I very rarely ever use them. There's one that I use probably the most, and that's the Elenco. Anyway, very good. I haven't got a lot on. To show. I've got a video to play tonight. It's one that I've dug up from 2024, so it's over a year old. I'm pretty sure I played it back then because it was Bendigo Hamfest. It's one that I pretty sure I drove up for. Or maybe I was visiting, I can't remember. But might have been Peter and I flew up on this one. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, I'll actually, just looking at it, I think it is the one that we flew up on, Peter. So 2024. I think I drove up this year, 2025. So yeah, very good. Anyway, I'll put that on. I've been very busy. I've got my business partner is way overseas, and so that's made me very, very busy. And I'm trying to organise our swap meet for this Thursday. So knee deep in paperwork at the moment and texts and all sorts of things. Anyway, I'll put this video on and stop flapping my gums.
On Sunday, February the 4th, 2024, the Ballarat Amateur Radio Group hosted one of the best hamfests I've been to in years. It was a hot 38 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the old system, but that didn't deter hundreds of amateurs from far and wide making the pilgrimage to the central Victorian town of Ballarat. Hamfests are a place to offload unused gear and to take home someone else's superfluous gear, and this year traders spilled out into the surrounds around the shed. As with all events of this nature, local amateurs could see, swap and buy the old and the new. Hero from ICOM Australia showcased the concept model of the company's 24 GHz add-on for the IC905. On display was the RF module, 24 GHz transverter and a dish antenna. Ian VK3RTV made the 570-kilometre journey from Adelaide's northern suburbs to showcase his 122 GHz transceiver, which you can read all about in Dubis, issue 3 of 2022. There was plenty to inspire the budding microwave enthusiast. Nick, VK3BA, organised most of the microwave corner in the shed. The Hamfest had the premiere of the updated Amateur Microwave It's Easier Than You Think video, now including ICOM's IC905. All in all, the day was a great success from an outsider's point of view. I even came home cash flow positive. Well done to everyone at Barg for organising such a terrific Hamfest, as well as delivering a great summer's day. Make sure you get there in 2025.
For live news on the planets, cosmology, sunspots and more, every Friday at 10 p.m. Clint VK3CSJ presents the Astronomical Society of Victoria broadcast on this amateur television repeater, VK3RTV Channel 1.
And back to me. Yep, I remember that one. And thank you, Andrew FS, who was talking on 70 centimetre simplex earlier before I was listening while I was busy trying to do all this paperwork. Along with Rob IE was there, and also I won't mention Neil. It was Neil. Okay, we've currently got 21 viewers on YouTube and 2 on Discord. So thank you everyone watching. Got a few overseas. One overseas and a few interstaters, and also Wayne from Shepparton. So hi to everyone, and also Ian, VK3QL. How are you going, Ian? See you shortly. Hamfests, our next one that we've got coming up, I think I mentioned last week, is the Rosebud one. Very popular. I don't like to miss that one. It's always a good one to go down to. Nice drive down to the peninsula. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time on the peninsula. Anyway, that's it from me. I believe we're going over to Clint now, VK3CSJ. So I will go to my colour bars before you thump over me. And once I'm on the colour bars, just take over Clint. You should be able to get over the top, although you're on T, so it'll be a bit of a grungy changeover. So thank you everyone, and see you next week.
Stand by, I've got to turn the transmitter off again so I get video. Right. Sorry about that massive delay. Sometimes the little hides box needs a second go at transmitting. I've noticed that. Didn't seem to happen so much in the beginning when I first was using DVB-T, but it seems in recent times I've had to, if I get a blank picture, which you saw just a moment ago, I have to turn it off and turn it on again. Like Pete says, it's one of those things. Anyway, g'day everybody, it's online tonight. Just winding that gain down a bit, 1, 2. There's no doubt about Andrew's videos. He has such a professional approach to his video production. I've seen his video suite. He's and I mean, I know his background there, so yeah, he's quite capable of doing all that great stuff. So he's got that excellent voice. Anyway, not much to report here. I just thought I'd come up and say good day to everybody, and trust that everybody as well. About the only thing that's happened here is I've managed to stuff my main viewing TV up, a flat screen TV, which I think was a Dick Smith special. Purely my fault, but I'm blaming it on the cats. I've got three fur balls, and my two blacks occasionally go after the long hair calico cat that tends to live in the kitchen, and there's always a bit of a fight and an argument and carrying on. And all I generally have to do is make a lot of noise to stop them, but they weren't ceasing, and I was comfortable in my chair watching the TV, and I've done this before with some success. This moment though, I was trying to find something on the table in front of me to throw through the kitchen doorway to make a noise. That's all I wanted to do, was to make a noise to stop these cats from carrying on. So I picked up a pair of scissors, and I was aiming for the stove, because from where I was sitting, the stove is right there, and if I was aiming to hit the side of the stove, which would have made enough noise to scatter the cats. That's all I was aiming to do. But unfortunately my aim was off, and the scissors hit the very edge of the screen on the TV, and just that little bit of an impact stuffed it. The screen went black, and I'm blinking at the TV. And I got up and I unplugged it and let it sit there for a few minutes and put power back on, crossing fingers that it would be all right. But nope, TV stuffed. Just the slightest hit right on the top edge of the screen. As soon as it hit, the screen just went black, and turned the power on, and you could see just at the top there where some of the screen had been damaged. It was no good, and and there's this long sort of spiky thing going down, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get the TV to work. So it's out in the kitchen going to e-waste. So do you think I was pleased about that? I had a stern word with the two blacks and blaming them for it. Anyway, I had another TV going up, watching the amateur stuff. It's the Shack Monitor. It's mainly for watching the Geochron. I don't know whether any of you know about Geochron. It's a software package that shows the map of the world and a whole lot of information. So I've had this Geochron thing running for quite some time, which shows a lot of amateur radio activity, where satellites are, the weather, earthquakes, FT8 sort of stuff, where activity is on bands from as low as 630 metres to right up to 6 metres, I think. Oh, it might even cover 2 metres in some areas. So all this information gets put up on the internet, and the Geochron takes it from a server and displays it. So it's pretty close to real time. It's really interesting stuff. Anyway, I've moved that TV across and currently using that to watch normal stuff. But right as I speak right now, I've got an old TV up the top of the staircase here. My old original flat screen Philips, which I was going to use for another purpose upstairs. In fact, the TV that I stuffed is the one that to replace this old Philips one. So I'm about to bring this old Philips TV, which doesn't have a HD tuner in it. That's the reason why I upgraded to another flat screen TV that had the built-in tuner was capable of receiving off-air HD. This Philips one doesn't have a HD tuner, so it was going to be used for other things. But now I'm going to bring the Philips one down and see if I can reconfigure things in that, because Foxtel actually the channels in Foxtel have a lot of the free-to-air TV channels available. Not all of them, of course, but just some that are useful. So I might be able to get away with it, watching those channels that sometimes I watch. But anyway, I'm going to bring that down, and it's very precarious because this old Philips TV is, I don't know, 3 times as heavy as a flat screen TV you get these days. It's got one massive heatsink in it. And I've got to bring this down a spiral staircase in a moment, one step at a time. It's going to be really. I got it up there. I can get it down. But the moral of the story is don't go throwing things in the direction of where your flat screen TV is, because you'll take it out. It doesn't take too much to stuff a TV screen up. The only other thing, of course, is to show you the 10 gigs dish. This is because everybody's seen one of these, but there it is in live, the ICOM Special, and there it is there, and you can see the pre-shaped bit of wave, a hard line that's in there in the plastic bag. So there's an arrow on the. You can just see the arrow there that indicates polarization. So for some reason, ICOM decided to release these so that they're useful in vertical polarization mode. So with the transverter bolted to the back here, that bit of hard line is designed to go from your connector just on there and marry up with the bottom of the transverter, and all's good. But of course we all do horizontal, don't we? So ICOM actually has an official document that says how to configure things here for horizontal polarization, sorry. And the only problem with that is that it puts the transverter on its side, so the cabling is coming out at the side here, so it's a bit exposed to the weather, whereas normally the cables would be hanging down. So there's various tricks that one can employ to fix that up, and I'll probably muck around with those in due course. But anyway, it's a nice solid dish, and you can just make out the central part in there. That's looking right there inside the feed, the way it's designed. And it supposedly is 31 dBi, 31 dBi, that's right, yep. So I will experiment with this in due course, and it'll most likely end up going on top of the tower with the elevation azimuth rotator, but we'll give it a go with the idea of going out in the field. I will experiment with that in due course. So there, I can hear myself. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's an interesting effect. Hello. Oh yeah. Wow. All right. Meanwhile, I'm having. As you can see, I've got a lot of stuff behind me. What you don't see from this vantage point is, on the other side of the room here is about 5, 6 racks of stuff that I've accumulated over the years. All those racks, shelving, the 6-tier shelves that you get from Bunnings, those on wheels that you roll around, it's sort of chrome-plated shelving. All that was originally behind me, but then when I moved the shack downstairs, I moved all that around to the side there, and I'm drowning in my crap. And I need to get some sort of preferably some sort of shipping container dropped off, but I'm having troubles with the local Casey group because they're wanting a permit for a shipping container, and when you apply for a permit, it's only meant to be 3 months. The idea of a shipping their idea of having a shipping container on the property is to, if you're moving, and so you throw things in the container and get the container shipped to your new location. So up to 3 months, the container is gone, and they're happy with that. But for a permanent arrangement, it's a different kettle of fish, and they're not happy about shipping containers being on properties around here. And I spoke to them today about what I needed it for. And the other problem we have here is that we're in a bit of a floodplain, and you know, no matter how I kind of indicated to them that I needed this container, they'd say, well, it probably just wouldn't be approved. You can apply for it, but it most likely won't be approved. So I'm going to try and contact Melbourne Water and see if I can get some sort of word from them to say, oh yeah, we're Mr. Jeffrey wants to put this container. It's not going to be affected by any flooding, so that should be all right. And there's something that says that, and then go back to Casey, and hopefully they'll say, oh, well, if Melbourne Water says that, and then maybe we can. But I need a container. There's no garage. There's no shed on this property, and I've got so much stuff here. I need to clear it out. So I can put it somewhere. The room right behind me was my mum's old bedroom, and that's full of stuff that I can't clear out until I clear this other stuff. I really need something like a shipping container dropped off here. Or the other solution that Casey was telling me today was possibly a pod. So it's definition. A shipping container is a shipping container. A pod's a pod. A pod might work, but still, I was told. But you're talking about the floodplain, the flooding area, and they're not happy for any kind of building construction in a floodplain area. So I've got a bit of a problem with Casey. In fact, I shouldn't have said anything. I shouldn't have even queried about the idea of the container and just put one here and be done with it. But I almost said that to that effect to the lady I was talking to on the phone, and she says to me, "Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that." Anyway, that's another story, and we'll probably fill you in with all that in several months' time. But I need it now. I really do need something that I can temporarily store, because ultimately this if it's a container or whatever it is I get dropped off here, it's going to be for my astronomy equipment. I've got 3 telescopes, and I can't have all telescopes in the dome at the same time, so I really need to have an external storage area, and a container would be ideal because it's secure and it's relatively weatherproof. I wouldn't like the idea of a garden shed, so that's the sort of thing I'm dealing with. But ultimately, it's going to be for the storage of the astronomy equipment, and of course some of the electronic stuff I've got here, which doesn't need to be in here. Anyway, there it is. That's enough bilge from me. So I think on that note, we'll pop it back to RTV2. So I think that's about it. Doesn't really matter. Yep. All right. So, yep. Okay. Back to RTV2, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody have a lovely week. And we'll see you all next Tuesday. I guess it's across to you there, Neil, VK3BCU on RTV2. This is VK3CSJ. Back to you guys.
Right, thanks there, Clint. It was all very interesting about damaging your TV there. Yes, we've all done something silly like that at times, blowing up things. Anyway, over the week I've refurbished my 2.4 and 3.4 gig antennas, so I'm now running on those higher frequencies, so I'll be available for mad days. Also, I did some work on my HF antenna as well. Not that I like listening to HF these days, it's too far too noisy. Okay, now the station that was on earlier, that was John VK3JCO, and he's also watching this evening. G'day there, John. And he was using the call sign VK3CTV. Nice little call sign there, John. Yeah, so John, welcome to transmission. John, I know you've been watching for quite a while. Hopefully we'll see you on maybe on the next net. Now next on will be Mick VK3CH, and Mick straight back to me. So Mick, I'm on T, so it should be a very, very clean changeover from yourself to myself. So take it away, Mick, right now.
Okay, that was pretty painless. Now, got audio? Yes, hang on, do I have enough audio? I think so. Alright, okay, what are we doing? I didn't prepare a written piece of paper, so we'll go through whatever. I saw on the email from Rob about doing a firmware update for the 905, so I thought I'll leave that until I come back from my visit out to King Lake. So I did all that the next day when we came back, and yeah, no tears, no updated, saved everything, all the settings. It didn't mention that it would blow anything away. Some of these firmware updates do warn you, but yeah, all the memories, everything was there, so all good. Okay, what have we done? If I put this hang on, I'll click this first. Alright, we did go up to King Lake the other day, and a few people came around, came up on air at our request sort of thing to help testing. So what we've got in the front here, I don't know if you can see the mouse around it, that's the new flat panel 5.7 gig with the SG Labs. You can see the little SG Labs unit there, and all the cables go down inside the pipe, so you can see the 70 centimeters at the top and the Anderson plug with the DC twin at the bottom. So we did some tests, and let's see, we spoke to VK3IE, VK3KRD, VK3JMA, VK3FS, VK3BCU and VK3ACR over about 1.5 hours, and on a mixture of bands. Now the main thing I have found with this, that one there on the left, is, well, particularly with Rob, I can turn that 45 degrees either side of him before things even start to drop in signal strength. Pretty much like the 3.4 gig with those those sort of dish parabolic things, the grid packs behave. So it would almost be a case of, if everyone used those, you'd have a case of people maybe talking over each other, so instead of the more point to point. So there's another picture of it there. So yeah, I didn't have the 3.4 gig that day, but I have had additional little masts put in. Okay, I don't know who I was talking to there, maybe Rob or a few others on that frequency. There's the rear view of the car where I sat, looking towards Melbourne, which is pretty much right under that yellow arrow. Okay. Now, oh yeah, I've got some extra stuff done. See the very long bit of welding here? That's to be a substitute for these. So you can mount your squib pole in there instead of having it mounted on the ground, so you've got a bit of height gain of the car. But of course that means you've got to, not have strong winds. So I had my 40-metre dipole that I've used at Bundoora Park and many other places for many years. So what I did was I cut or filed a bit of a notch in one of the ends of the pipe and the squid pole, and what happens is the junction of the inverted V goes there, and the coax just slots down the side, and the weight of it holds it there quite okay. And that's what I'm talking about, that goes just sitting on the top. So the wire's very thin, and then there's builder's twine either side, so not much weight in it. And just a bit of coax to run it down to the radio. And let's see, okay, now I've got to go back and navigate. Where's my folder? Alright. Okay, so what we did today, hang on. Oh, it's taking a while to update. Okay, what we did today was did some tests on HF with Rob, VK3IE. I was calling on that one, but I didn't use that one. There's the picture of the squid pole going into the air. You might see the wire at the top. I don't know, you can certainly see the coax coming down from the top. And we spoke to Rob on 7.1, although there were some stations about 5 kilohertz up, and I did listen to them for a while, and I heard all of them very well. Rob complained a bit about a fair bit of noise. I had some noise, but not much. Okay, that's the end of one end of the dipole, just wrapped around the fence to hold it. There's a picture of the car in the centre. Now these pylons do have power going through them, but unless you're right underneath them, I don't hear any like the sort of AC hum. When you listen to the AM radio, as in, you know, the commercial AM, if you're parked right there, no drama. You go right underneath the wires and it wipes it out. So there's just only a few metres in it. So anyway, on 7 megs anyway. So that was okay. I've been there before. There's a slightly closer view of the same setup. Oh, and a bit further away. These are all the pictures I take for the newsletter. Okay, now that's one end of the dipole near the driveway. Now, what we're using there is, you know, the rotisseries you put on your barbecue to cook chickens or meat, and they've got little things to slide on to hold it there. One of those. I just pushed it into the ground. I was looking for my 10 pegs but couldn't find them. So crawling around under the house with my back bent. I didn't like that very much. So yeah, I found them and thought that'll do. Oh yeah, so that's another picture of what the squid pole was slid inside. So that's what was holding it up. So what I have to do is open up the side passenger door and kind of, you know, step up onto the flooring of the inside of the car and grab around that square shaft. And yeah, you can slot it in. You wouldn't want a lot of wind, but it is doable. And that's the maximum height I can get in and in her driveway, so that it doesn't strike anything. So the total height of everything is 2050 millimetres, and most of the shopping centres have a minimum height of 2.1, except for Greensborough Plaza. I know that's quite low. And yeah, that's what you'd normally be using to just run one of your rear tyres over the, you know, the bent bit to hold it on the ground. So I suppose if it ever does get too much to work with, I'll just put the squid pole down that. It's just that the car gives it a bit of extra height. Because when I've got a new holder, so I can have all 3 aerials going at once. I had to lengthen my BNC cable. So I went to J-Car, grabbed a bunch of cable and some resistors and a few other things, and I was $2 too short. So I thought, well, I'll give this back to them, and I'll just use the single length of the BNC to BNC, because it would reach the back, and I don't have to have it go to the other one yet. But when I came home, I've got a bag full of, you know, PL259s and this and that, and every conceivable adapter that you'd normally flog off at a hamfest. When I tipped the bag upside down, guess what one of the things fell out of it was? One of these. So ripper reader. So we joined them with a bit of heat shrink, Now, what else? I think, yeah, there. So I've shown you all those pictures. Okay, so what we'll do. All right. So I think that's about all the news we've got. Just trying to see whether I've missed anything. No, I did have some video of talking to people like Rob and Neil and a few other people, but I didn't have time to sort of edit it. You probably don't want to sit through 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 minutes of all that. So anyway, most of you guys are aware of what microwave stuff is like. So here's the finished product. So we can lift that up and put it there. And just around the rear, pretty much what you saw. So the only additions is the green heat shrink, because the pluggers are made for indoors use, those 12 volt DC things, and a bit more heat shrink over the back there, just to sort of keep any dirt and dust out of it. Otherwise, this is pretty much a finished deal, I'd say. So I'll just put that there so it doesn't fall. So yeah, that's about all the news I've got. So the next microwave activity day, what is it, 2 weeks away, I think. So the only thing that'll stop me will be bad weather. So we're happy to go out to Kinglake again. And thanks very much to all the people that did take time to put a signal up for me to talk to. So I'm not sure, I'll just give it back to you there, Neil. And catch you guys next week. Cheers.
Good evening. Remember me? Just in case you forgot, it's Ian, VK3 Quebec Lima, based in just north of Melbourne Central Business District. And I've been off on other things for the last, I don't know, 5 weeks, I guess. And so back with back. Let's just say back, just. But anyway, it's good to see that and be involved with the net again. So it's great fun. I was able to watch both the QSO party and the nets over that period. So the QSO party was, another hit. It's brilliant. And in salute of that, I've situated myself in the Jim's WX8J's museum, which is the backdrop there. So lighting's not quite the same tone, is it? Not the same tone colour. But anyway, and I think the key is a bit out too. But there's a few things that are a bit out, including myself, over the break, and we'll just have to knock them back together as best we can. And John, congratulations to John, VK3JCO/CTV. Great to hear that you've come up on the net, on the repeater, and looking forward to great things there. So that's all good. All right, without rabbiting on too much, and the time is moving on. The first clip I've got is Mike, and I always forget everyone's call sign actually, G0MJW at I think it was at QO100 net a few months ago now, showed a petal dish, which I thought people with microwave gear and portability and those sort of issues, although it's rather limited for 10 gigs, it certainly could be modified, as Mike alludes to. So perhaps without anything more to say, let's hear what Mike has found on the internet.
Let's go straight to the camera. Well, I can actually, the first thing I can probably show you is this. It doesn't need the camera. It's appeared today. So I don't know if people are interested in these dishes. Maybe, I don't know. I've just fitted a potty feed to it, oops, in a not a very orthodox way. And I just need to adjust that and see if it works and whether the plastic pipe that it's sitting on degrades it, and I need to build a tripod. But what I'll probably do is build a sort of a cone which will cover the with this bit of the feed and make sure it's waterproof. Why am I talking about this? Well, it's too small for TV, of course, but ideal for SSB, and the point is it's in 3 sections, so you can take it away with you. You could use it to receive the ISS, or you could hopefully receive QO100. The holes are a bit big, and I think that might be an issue, but they're only a small percentage of the overall area. I guess you could cover it with tin foil, but they're about 1/4 of an inch each, and that's too big for 10 gigahertz. So that's one thing, available from Mouser, ordered on Monday and delivered on Wednesday. Last week I showed you this thing, this dish that had turned up from Mouser, the Kraken 3-petal dish. And I see Matt from Tech Minds, who may or may not be watching, he likes to watch but not show himself, will be interested that I did some tests yesterday in the evening after I got round to it, had a bit of time. I spent most of the day doing something else because I had the day off, but anyway, what I did, you can just see behind me, but I've got a better view of it here, which is hopefully going to show up. There we go. And this is the dish mounted on my tripod without any hold down bits because it was a nice day, run by a battery, and yeah, so I've got a bit of 20mm drain pipe, black, fully carbon loaded, 0 chance of working whatsoever, and because the F/D of the dish is 0.35, I just shoved it on that piece of black carbon and messed around until I got a signal, and the intent was to see if it would work for SSB, and you won't be getting any noise on this one, I think, because I've muted my audio to stop feedback, but I'll do it again with the noise on the next one. But just to give you an idea of what it looks like, that's what it looks like. And now I need to find another video, so just give me a second, things will go blank.
Radio operator only, only not 5 years because I got the license first, then I had to get all the permission for my antenna, and then I have to buy.
Okay, so hopefully you heard that, and yeah, it worked. Now I know that the S-band side will work if the X-band works, so portable-ish QO100 station. So success. That's good, isn't it?
Well, back to me. I wasn't expecting that. All right. Yes, so I thought people would be interested in that pedal dish for portability and versatility and lightness. So all good fun, and I thought quite a reasonable price from Mouser, from memory. ISS. The Ham TV is currently on. So I thought I'd just go through the passes for Melbourne. There's not a lot of passes this week or the next 7 days, but as it comes and goes, gee, that key is out. Anyway, as the passes come and go, we're on a low ebb, as it were. But anyway, here's I think something like 13 passes in the next week. And more to come.
A look at the International Space Station passes for Melbourne over the next week.
K7 Delta Whiskey, VK4 Echo Mike. 57 here also, thanks for the contact.
73's move. VK5QI, VK2A's. VK2 station, go again, VK5.
Right, so the Ham TV is powered on. Look at the RS site for Ham TV details. The BATC forum is an excellent starting point for how to report receptions and see what reports are coming in, and also to get information on the BATC wiki for how to receive the Ham TV transmissions.
For live news on the planets, cosmology, sunspots and more, every Friday at 10 p.m. Clint VK3 CSJ presents the Astronomical Society of Victoria broadcast on this amateur television repeater, VK3RTV Channel 1.
We've got a double header for the ASV broadcast, so because Richard showed that clip earlier this evening, so that's double banging. I'll send there'll be 2 bills coming in this week, Clint, so it's good fun. Sad news about the TV too, the TV screen. It's like it's like in the army. You with messages, you tell them once and then you repeat it again and again and again. So yes, sad news about the TV screen. They always look pretty fragile, but I suppose they're getting a bit more robust. Certainly, phones are a lot more robust than they used to be. All right. Says he looking for what am I doing next? I'm keeping it rather short tonight. You wouldn't believe it, but quiz. Yeah, did I show a quiz? I don't think I did. I'm losing the plot in more ways than one. All right, here's a quiz, and here it goes.
microwave offers access to relatively large segments of the radio spectrum. If you live in an elevated area with panoramic views, you're in a lucky minority who can work the microwave bands from home. If not, going portable is for you. This is a recruitment video. We need your voice on the higher bands to help secure their ongoing availability around the world.
Right, Richard showed a video of the BATC, the barge Hamfest earlier this year, which is an example of the excellent work that Andrew does, VK3FS, and this is yet another example. His videos are brilliant. They're to the point. They're usually less than 10 minutes, well scripted, well illustrated. They're a real dream. So do yourself a favour, check out Andrew's YouTube channel. The QR code's there, and it's a great way to learn about areas that you perhaps have thought too hard. It's as he says, it's easier than you think. Test it out. Great. All right. I'll just touch on the event calendar. The next few months, Rosebud Hamfest has been mentioned. Sunday the 16th of November. There's the Spring VHF UHF Field Day. That's national for Australia. 22nd and 23rd. Of November, and Ballarat is on again, 1st of February. They just announced, as far as I was aware, the date for that at the beginning of next year. So it's all lining up for the next few months. So get yourself organised and do yourself yet another favour. Right, so it's great to see all the guys on air, and also on YouTube. On the YouTube is Richard's VK3VRS, and there's Vince and there's John G7JTT, and Wayne from Shepparton VK3GMV. And Bryce, can't see a call sign there, but not to worry. All good. All right, I'll sign off with the roll call as I have to add John to that too, I think. So that might take a few weeks, John, but please be patient. And my sign off for this evening. I'll hand it over to Neil, VK3BCU.
right, thanks for that, Ian. And good stuff. Welcome back, and also welcome to John 3JCO. It's World Space Week this week, and the space station until the 10th of October is transmitting slow scan TV. And I did catch a couple of passes earlier on the week and did decode a couple of SSTV pictures from the space station, and they're on 145.8, 145.8. And what was I going to say? And the program you can use is MMSSTV. So just download MMSSTV and connect it to your receiver via audio or maybe USB, and you can decode the, I think it's about 6 or 8 slow scan pictures they do on the passes. So something you can very easily do, and say you've downloaded pictures from the space station. So thanks everyone for watching. We've still got 21 watching on YouTube. That's great. So see you all next week, and it's been great. It's been a marathon session today, so fantastic. Cheers all.